Hello everyone and welcome to another comic book video. My name is Michael. Today we're talking about comic book keys. So what do we mean by comic book keys? Comic book keys are an important issue in a title's run. So pretty much anytime you have an issue in a title's run that something like a new character is introduced or something special happens, that would be considered a key. So some other different versions is like first appearance of a character, first cover appearance of a character, death of a character, maybe a costume change, first solo story. Doesn't even have to be just with characters too. It could be with artists. A certain artist did the cover of a comic, and that cover is considered a classic. So that would be considered a key issue. So those are just some different versions of different keys and stuff. We do have a lot of times what are called major keys and minor keys. Major keys are like, in many ways, the most important keys. These will be considered like the first appearance of Spider-Man, first appearance of Wolverine, first appearance of Batman. These will be considered major keys. And a way you can think of major keys a lot of times is with cost. A lot of times the more major keys tend to also be some of the more expensive ones. And then you have minor keys, which maybe introduction of maybe a secondary character, or you could also say have a minor costume change or something like that. That would be considered more like a minor key. So, for instance, with a minor key, you could think of maybe the first appearance of Cletus Cassidy. Cletus Cassidy, while he does end up becoming, joining with the Carnage symbiote and becoming Carnage, his first appearance is really not that expensive. It's pretty easy to get. Whereas the first appearance of Carnage can be a little more expensive because it's considered more of a major key. So I brought in some keys today. Now the ones I'm mostly going to be showing today are mostly going to be considered minor keys. I really don't have any like the really major ones. So, but these are mostly considered minor, but I thought these would be just providing a variety of examples of what are considered some keys. So first one I have is Uncanny X-Men 283. This is the first full appearance of Bishop and the first appearance of a villain called Games Master. Now Bishop actually makes an appearance, has his first cover appearance and his first cameo in the previous issue, where he appears in like one little panel and then, like I said, on the cover. This is actually his first full appearance, where he plays more of a major role in the story. The next one I have is Batman the Devastator. This is actually a origin story. Origin stories are also considered keys as well. This is an origin story of a version of Batman who actually becomes kind of like Doomsday, the character that killed Superman. So he ends up becoming a version of Doomsday. They did a storyline called Dark Knight's Metals where Batman's finding some evil counterpart versions of himself from other universes. And this is just one of the characters that was introduced. And this issue is just his origin story. Next, I have Tomb of Dracula 17. This is a minor key. This is actually the issue where Blade gets bitten by Dracula. It's actually from this issue he starts to discover, Blade does, that he's actually part vampire because he's not affected by Dracula biting him. But this is the issue where that occurs. Next issue I have is actually a costume change. This is Spider-Man 529. You might have seen this issue in one of my previous videos. But this is the one where he gets the Iron Spider outfit from Tony Stark. He actually didn't wear it for very long. It only lasted for about a few issues. But this is the first appearance of that costume. Next, I have Superman 10. This is the first meeting of John Kent and Damian Wayne. John Kent, of course, becomes Superboy. Damian Wayne's, of course, one of the Robins. And this is actually their first meeting together. From actually this two-part storyline, they go on to spin off into their own title called Super Sons, where it has the two of them teaming up together to fight villains. So, but this is just their first appearance, considered a nice minor key. And next I have Captain America 25. This is actually a fairly important, this was actually a very important issue when it first came out. This actually had the death of Steve Rogers. It was from this storyline for a brief time when you actually had the Winter Soldier take over as Captain America. But this is also a variant as well, but this is the death of Captain America. Of course, it didn't last very long. Within about a year or two, Steve Rogers would have returned and go on to return as Captain America as well. But these are just some different ideas, some different keys you have. Like I said, there's other ones you can look into, different covers, some of the classic covers. For instance, like the Batman 251 has a classic Neil Adams cover with Joker on it. It's kind of hard to get in a nice grade. You also can do, like I said, you can also look into like other different things too. There are many different types of keys. There's actually a website online called Key Collector Comics, which actually provides listings of different keys and different title runs, and will provide explanation on why it's considered a key. That's just a great online resource you can look into. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video on keys. Next week I'll be back with a video on variant covers. And until then, I hope you have a nice week. And if you like this video, just go ahead and give it a like. Thank you and goodbye.